of the Charlotte County School Board. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of student success, exclamation point, Dr. Whitaker, through our mission by providing an innovative educational environment that allows and inspires success for everyone. To start off the meeting tonight, we're going to be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Mike Robichaud. Mike, come on up.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Dr. Superintendent, do we have any additions or corrections?
We do. We have one correction, which is a deletion. Let me just turn to that page. And it appears I don't have that page in front of me, but I believe one of you do.
It is.
We are deleting the monthly financial report.
It's item 1I on the consent agenda, the monthly financial report.
Thank you. So I'm requesting that that be
H1I.
H1I, sorry, forgot the H.
Thank you. Not sure what happened to it.
And that's the only thing?
Yeah, it got deleted. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And on to reports. Dr. Whitaker.
Before we get into the formal reports listed on the agenda, I'd like to just take a moment of privilege and introduce our 5 new high school assistant principals to the board and to the group that's here this evening. So as I call your name, yes, I am going to embarrass you and ask you to stand up. So first on the list is Allison Portwood. Is Allison here? Good evening, Allison. Allison is being appointed as assistant principal at Port Charlotte High School, and she graduated from Port Charlotte High School in the year 2000, attended college at Florida Atlantic University, where she studied biology. After college, Allison began her teaching career in Tampa, Florida. After relocating back to Port Charlotte with her fellow Port Charlotte High School alumni husband, Eric, Allison taught science for 5 years at Port Charlotte High School. During that time, she earned her master's degree in ed leadership, coached cross country, and just recently completed her first marathon. So welcome, Allison. Our second introduction is Scott Nicholas. Scott is also being appointed as assistant principal at Port Charlotte High School. Scott earned a Bachelor of Arts in History at Penn State University in 2002 with a minor in Educational Policy Studies. He has a Master's in Guidance and Counseling from Argosy University in 2006, Specialist in Ed Leadership, Edinburgh University of Pennsylvania in 2008, Doctorate of Educational Leadership at Argosy University in dissertation on mentoring program effectiveness. His work experience is Lemon Bay High School history teacher for 2 years and Port Charlotte High guidance counselor for 4 years, dean for 2 years. Scott is married to his wife, Lynn, who's a 3rd grade teacher at Myakka River Elementary School, and a recent father of 1 so far, Luciano, who was born July 9th, 2012. A newborn. Congratulations. Robert Murphy. Robert, please stand. Thank you. Robert Murphy is being appointed as assistant principal at Lemon Bay High School. The 2012-2013 school year will begin Robert's 9th year in education. He has served in many capacities, including teaching mathematics, coaching basketball and football, sophomore class representative, business manager, and sponsor of many student clubs. He graduated from St. Mary's Preparatory and received a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Math Education from the University of South Florida and a Master's in Educational Leadership from Nova Southeastern University. Robert is looking forward to the challenges of this new chapter in his educational career and plans to help keep Lemon Bay High School a safe, positive, and fun campus with a focus on instruction, as well as build positive relationships with students, staff, parents, and our community. Robert currently lives in Rotunda West with his wife Amy, new baby boy Holden. It's contagious. They also have 2 dogs, Tug and Otis, and a cat, Kiwi. Away from school, Robert enjoys time with his family and outdoor activities such as boating and golfing. Welcome, Robert. Jack Ham. Jack, please stand. Jack is being appointed as assistant principal at Charlotte High School. Jack has spent all 8 years of service in Charlotte County Public Schools at Charlotte High School. Before he became an assistant principal, he taught psychology and sociology in the social studies department and was an assistant coach with the boys basketball program. After graduating from Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, Jack taught 4th grade and middle school health classes before relocating to Florida. While teaching at Charlotte High, Jack obtained his educational leadership degree from National Louis University, and it was all because of his professor, by the way, that he was successful. His wife, Stephanie, is a kindergarten teacher at Deep Creek Elementary, and together they have 5 beautiful children, Mason, Trevor, Mackenzie, JR, and Quinn. Together they plan on developing professionally and personally in the Charlotte County Public Schools for many years to come. Welcome, Jack. Dave Masony. Dave, if you'd stand. Welcome. Dave is also being appointed as assistant principal at Charlotte High School. Dave was a member of the Charlotte High School class of 1997, Flagler College class of 2001, and USF class of 2011. Dave attended Charlotte High from 1993 to 1997 and participated in varsity soccer, cross country, and the Spanish Club. He attended Flagler College as an education major and represented Flagler College as a varsity soccer player, graduating with a bachelor's degree in sports business. Dave was employed as a director of operations as well as a player for a semi-professional soccer team. After leaving that post, he returned to Charlotte County and served Charlotte County Public Schools as a substitute teacher and an assistant boys soccer coach at Charlotte High. He returned to school, completing his education coursework, and secured a teaching certification. In 2003, Dave began his teaching career at Charlotte High School, teaching integrated science and serving as the boys' head soccer coach. In 2005, Dave pursued a master's in physics education at the University of Virginia and received his Florida physics endorsement. Dave has since served in several school and district-based committees, assuming multiple leadership roles. In 2010, he enrolled and completed his master's in Ed Leadership through USF. Dave is married to Meredith Murphy, also Charlotte class of 99. They have 3 children, Mateus, Sophia, and Brian. Dave is a proud product of Charlotte County Public Schools and a Tarpon through and through. Welcome, Dave. It's always exciting to appoint new leadership to our schools, and we've had a plethora of AP appointments this summer, 10 in all, 4 or 5 at the elementary school and 5 at the high school. So we welcome our new leaders and look forward to working with you and growing with you as leaders in Charlotte County Public Schools. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium Gail Buck, our Director of Health Services, and Gail's going to give us the 2011-2012 Annual School Health Services Report.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent, Ms. Young. The Division of School Support submits to the board the Annual School Health Services Report, which reflects the number and types of services provided by our basic school health services and our full-service schools. The report is inclusive of the number and types of health disorders as well. This report is the only source of statewide data published and widely distributed, and it acts as a program advocacy document for quality improvement activities statewide. I would like to share a few of the pieces of data with you, but most importantly, I would like to report on the aspect of community partnerships in relation to student success. During the February FTE week, 615 oral medications, 165 inhalers, and 185 insulin injections were administered. This is a very, very brief snapshot of 1 week in our school clinics. During that same FTE week, we assessed 3,798 students in our basic school health clinics. Out of that number, only 34 were sent home with documented illnesses or injuries. On the same week, in our full-service schools, 1,466 students visited our clinics, and 21 students were sent home with documented illness or injuries. That is a total of 5,264 students that visited one of our school clinics just during FTE week in February. And out of that sum total, only 55 were sent home. One of the areas I wanted to share with you deals with our community partnerships, which run very wide and very deep here in Charlotte County. 5 years ago, the state was cutting funding to the vision referral program that we had actively utilized here in Charlotte County. This resource was known as Vision Quest. We were in dire straits as we faced a new school year, void of any prospects of eye exams or eyeglasses for our students in most need. We met with our local Lions clubs, and through a partnership, they agreed to pay for each school nurse to join the National Association of School Nurses. The fee is $110 per nurse. With the membership, each school nurse was now eligible to receive 10 free vouchers from Vision Services Plan. This would include an eye exam and free glasses if needed. Once the nurse used those first 10 vouchers, she only needed to pick up the phone and call the National Association of School Nurses, and she would receive another 10 vouchers. These vouchers were unlimited. Now, this meant that the Lions Club paid $2,090 for 19 of our school nurses' memberships to the National Association of School Nurses. But this was not just to help us out for 1 year. Oh no, they had committed to help us out for every year thereafter. They have invested $10,450 over the last 5 years to keep vision referral services for our children in place and active through our school nurses. This is what makes school health work. This is what helps make students successful. Data is data, but the heart of a program is in its community partnerships. Thank you. Do you have any questions or concerns?
Just a comment. Every year when I read through this report and I see these statistics, and I'm just so impressed by what I see and how well your staff, your nurses, work to make it so our students are healthy enough and they can get back into the classroom. And they do so much work for us all, and we don't really necessarily see them as part of our education system per se, but they certainly are. So thank them for us. Thank you.
Yes, looking at all these statistics, it's a wonder how we could survive without the school nurses. They do so much, and so much more education is able to go on in the classroom, because I remember when I first taught, we didn't have school nurses, and something would happen, the teacher stopped and had to take care of it or called down to the office. And it's just a blessing to have these nurses in every one of our schools, and we thank you for what you do and for what the nurses do.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Thank you.
On to the next report. Mike Robershaw, if you would please come to the podium to present this recognition as a Gold Fit Friendly company.
Thank you and good evening, Vice Chairman Mr. Vincent, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Whitaker, Attorney Ms. Young. Want to thank you for the opportunity to present to you tonight, as well as your continued support for the health and well-being of our very valuable employees in the Charlotte County School District. Tonight I have a very special guest from the American Heart Association here to present. Her name is Valerie Ehrenfeld, and she will be recognizing the district as a fit-friendly work site.
Thank you, and it's an honor to be here this evening. It's an honor to be here to announce that Charlotte County Public Schools has been nationally recognized by the American Heart Association as a fit-friendly company. For those of you not familiar with the Fit-Friendly Company's recognition, it is an award given by the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life program initiative. It is intended to be a catalyst for positive change in the workplace across America, and right here in Charlotte County. It recognizes companies and school districts for making the health and wellness of their employees a priority. You have been recognized at the gold level, which means that you offer all employees physical support at the work site. You have increased the number of healthy eating options available to your employees at the work site. You promote a wellness culture at the work site. And you embrace at least 9 criteria as outlined by the American Heart Association in the areas of physical activity, nutrition, and culture. Adult Americans spend a majority of their waking hours at work, with obesity costing American businesses $12.7 billion per year in medical expenses. Any program that increases physical activities employees will impact the bottom line. Specifically, studies suggest that implementing a worksite activity program and promoting a culture of activity will help companies increase productivity, reduce absent days, lower turnover, and reduce overall healthcare costs. The Fit-Friendly Companies Recognition Program provides employees access to program resources, including the free walking program and an online activity tracker, materials that help promote company wellness to your employees, and consultations on CPR and AED programs. As a fit-friendly company, you are corporate trailblazers who have adopted the spirit of the initiative and have the vision to try to improve the health and wellness of your employees. I would like to thank Mike Robichaud for championing the application process. Each year, I will work with Mr. Robichaud on trying to get you a higher level of recognition. So next year, we will shoot for platinum, and that will just happen by him adding more physical initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I would like to present this plaque to the school district.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Mike, real
Thanks,
quick,
Mike.
I just wanted to say the efforts you've made, this mic bothers me, some of the little things have just amazed me. The take the stairs thing. I know it seems like a small thing, and Jerry Oliva will tell you, we were going up to his office today, and I don't turn right. I instinctively turn left. The little things like that make the difference. I just want to thank you so much for everything, because we see it.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
I failed to mention when I introduced Mike that he is our district wellness manager for the school district. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Valerie. Our last report this evening is our Business Recognition Award. I'm going to ask Mike Riley to come to the podium, and board members, if we could go down front, please.
Board members, Dr. Whitaker and Ms. Young. Tonight it's a special pleasure to introduce the Commissioner of Education's Business Partner of the Year for 2012 for Charlotte County Public Schools. We have so many businesses in our community. We're so blessed about that give so much. They give their time, they give their talents, they give their dollars to help our schools. And this gentleman and his company is at the front of that. I'd like to mention, before we go on, a couple of the businesses that were nominated this year. Publix of Gulf Cove, the Wititsky Law Firm, New Hope Church, Publix of Charlotte Harbor, Chili's of Port Charlotte, Chick-fil-A of Port Charlotte, and Winn-Dixie of Inglewood. Past winners from Charlotte County have been Comcast Cablevision, Fawcett Memorial Hospital, Florida Power and Light, St. Joe's Hospital, the Sun Herald, Charlotte Regional, the Simon Property Group, the Charlotte County Chamber of Commerce, Rack Room Shoes, and Kohl's. I'd like to, if I could, bring Mr. Mark James of Charlotte High School up here to introduce and announce our winner for this year.
This was at the presentation was actually done at the state level in Tampa. Mr. Gaspar couldn't attend, and so I thought it'd be good to give it to him here in front of our home folks. This is what was written that was presented. It says, over the past 13 years, Mr. Gaspar from Don Gaspar, Charlotte County, Florida, has taken the Renaissance Teacher of the Year, Teacher of the Month, and his spouse and the teacher's spouse to dinner at the Yacht Club. When another dealership was unable to continue their donating of a vehicle for our Renaissance program, which provides incentives to promote good grades and attendance, Don Gaspar, Charlotte County Ford stepped up to help. Without their generous donation, the Renaissance would have suffered a significant loss and diminished impact. Don Gaspar, Charlotte County Ford, clearly came to the rescue and continues to be an amazing business partner. Basically what happened was every year, every month, I call Don. He says, clear his calendar, figures out when to go, and we kind of organize it, and he takes the Teacher of the Month out to dinner. He and his wife actually take the Teacher of the Month out to dinner. He doesn't have somebody else do it. He does it himself. Then, on top of that, I got stuck with no vehicle, and we were in trouble. So I went and saw Don, and make a long story short, he now, in addition to continuing to take the Teacher of the Month out to dinner, donates a vehicle that one of our students wins at the end of the year every year. Now, Don didn't just donate the vehicle. He came and did the drawing, and for the last 2 years he's come and done the drawing, and he's done the whole thing. He also fishes in our redfish tournament. He actually placed in the money this year, so that redfish that you caught was probably the most expensive fish of your life. But anyway, we could not have a program without business partners like Don, and Don is the big-time business partner for us. So Don, just come up here, please. If you want to.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the recognition, and I'm a firm believer in supporting education. Both my girls went to school at Charlotte High, two of them, Kim and Renee. And Renee's the youngest. She went to Harvard right out of Charlotte High. So I can tell you Charlotte High is a real good high school. Kim graduated from FSU, and she counts the money as heir apparent at Charlotte County Ford. And I just think that if we support teachers and education, we certainly can build less jails. And if you're uneducated, it's tough to make a way in the world. I will say one other thing in closing. There's assistant principals of the various high schools, and I try to help a number of the high schools. Charlotte High, in particular, is fun because of the two girls going there. But don't be afraid to call on me. If I can help you in some way, call me, and I will respond if you don't get me the first time. Thanks again for the award. I really appreciate it.
I would, if I could, introduce Kay Gaskarth also. And besides Don's charity through his business, the two of them and their family are amazing to children in this community. There's not an activity or an organization that they haven't supported through their own personal graciousness.
For the love of kids.
For the love of kids. Easy. Take your hand off me.
As the board returns to the dais, those of you that came as visitors tonight, please feel free to make your way out the doors. We don't expect you to sit through this entire meeting.
Moving on to old business, at this time we will recess the regular board meeting and call the public hearing to order. And Dr. Superintendent.
Thank you. This evening, we are bringing two public hearings. The 2012-2013 Student Progression Plan. And so public is welcome to address it.
Do we have any citizens who wish to comment on the Student Progression Plan?
And this was discussed at the workshop.
Yeah, this has been workshopped to death, so I think at this point, I will ask if anybody up here has any questions, but I think we've all asked them ad nauseum. Okay, and we will close the public hearing and call the regular meeting back to order. Dr. Whitaker.
I'm pleased to bring to the board this evening the recommendation for board approval of the Division of School Support Services, this year's 2012-2013 Student Progression Plan.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any board discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. And on to the consent agenda. Dr. Whitaker?
Yes.
I did close the public hearing.
Yeah.
I can open it again if you'd like.
I'm pleased to bring to you tonight our consent agenda. Again, most of these items have been workshopped and discussed with the board and myself, and so I'm recommending school board approval of the consent agenda this evening.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I just wanted to add the reason for the deletion is that there is no monthly financial report this month.
That's correct.
It wasn't that we deleted the monthly financial report. We just don't have one. So all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. To the action agenda.
And just to explain for those that are sitting in the audience, the reason we don't have a financial report is we are presenting the budget for next year at the next meeting, which is it covers the same territory. On the action agenda this evening, the first item is the 2012-2013 budget and millage rates for Charlotte County Public Schools, and I am requesting board approval of the budget and millage rates for this coming year.
So,
Go ahead.
so moved.
Second?
A motion and a second. Do you guys have any discussion?
Yeah, to just clarify that this is just, we're voting on this just to advertise the budget, this is not our annual budget discussion. This is just approval to put it in the newspaper, basically.
Yes.
It's kind of critical.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Second item on the action agenda is the fee increase for Charlotte Tech Center. As I've explained to you, the state gives us a range of fees from lesser to greater, and we are this year going to the maximum fees. We have actually for the last 2 years because of our budget conditions. We need every penny we can get, so we are charging the maximum fees allowed by the state. So I am bringing this to you this evening for your approval for the proposed tuition and lab fee increase for the post-secondary fees effective July 1st, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second that we approve the fee increase at Charlotte Technical Center. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Our next item is an amendment to our current business lease. I believe you're aware that we do lease a classroom space every year for a program that serves adult special needs folks in this community. We don't pay for the program, but we pay for the facility. And so I'm requesting this evening approval for the business lease as presented to you, business lease amendment by and between the School Board of Charlotte County and Fred B. Swing and Ann E. Swing doing business as La Playa for the location of a classroom space at La Playa Plaza.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Our next item is the Nursing Procedure Manual. The Division of School Support requests school board approval for the updated Nursing Procedure Manual for the school year 2012-2013.
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion and a second that we approve the Nursing Procedure Manual. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. I feel like I'm sorry. I'm
Aye.
just being so redundant. I'm sorry. So just bear with me because we've got a lot of
That's
these.
how these meetings are.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Yeah, we do have a long action
Yes,
agenda
we do.
this
Yes.
evening, so please bear with us. The next item is the 2012-2013 regular school calendar revision. You've already approved the calendar well in advance, but there is one minor revision that we're making. We're bringing this to you this evening, and I'm asking approval of changing the date of August 14th from a teacher workday to a teacher professional service day for the 2012-2013 regular school calendar year.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second that we approve the revised 2012-2013 regular school calendar. Is there any board discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Our next item is an annual self-assessment that we are engaged in as a district, and it's titled the Safety and Security Best Practice Self-Assessment. Mr. Cummings, our Safety and Security Director, conducts this self-assessment every year, and the law requires board approval of that self-assessment. So I'm bringing that to you tonight, asking for your approval of the 2011-12 Safety Security Best Practices self-assessment per Florida statute.
So moved?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the Safety and Security Best Practices Self-Assessment for the 2011-2012 school year. Is there any discussion?
Just to say that when you look through this report every year, and you can't help but notice how every single part of this district is looked at for safety, and it's an important document, and it takes a lot of work every year, and I see that all expectations are met, and I think there was one that's in the process of being met, so it's an important document, and thank you for your work on this, Steve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
The next item is the 2012-2013 school bus runs. Approval is requested this evening for the regular education school bus runs for the 2012-2013 school year.
So moved.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the 2012-2013 school bus runs as presented. Is there any board discussion?
Just to say that I remember we talked about it last year. Every couple of us thought that it was in the newspaper every year, the runs how they used to be, and they're not. I understand they haven't been for years. They haven't been in the newspaper. You get them online. And okay, thank you.
I believe that was a safety issue also,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
it's not printed in the paper.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
The next item is something that we have done in the past, and we're pleased to help our nonprofit partners in Charlotte County with transportation. And so this evening, I bring to you the transfer of bus title to the Boys and Girls Club of Charlotte County. As we phase buses out of service, we usually keep them, so we have a few extras around in case a bus breaks down and we need a replacement. And then as those age, we auction them off to the highest bidder. But periodically there's a need, and in this case, the Boys and Girls Clubs came to us and asked if we would donate a bus to them. And so we're glad to help them out, and I'm asking for school board approval to transfer one surplus bus to the Boys and Girls Club of Charlotte County.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the transfer of a bus title to the Boys and Girls Club of Charlotte County. Is there any discussion? The one thing I do want to say, and this is one of the things that we do, the Boys and Girls Club is such a great partner of ours.
Yeah.
And, it's good business to do this, so
Yeah.
I'm glad to see us doing it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
And likewise, another one of our nonprofits came to us, the Englewood Family YMCA, also requesting a bus. And so this evening, I'm bringing to you a request to transfer one surplus bus to the Englewood Family YMCA.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the transfer of a bus title to the Englewood Family YMCA. Is there any discussion?
Give it to one, they all want it. That's good. Happy to do it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Our third from the last item.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hurricane Charlie recovery, Punta Gorda Center warehouse and associated site work, reduction in retainage. Approval is requested for the reduction of retainage for the Hurricane Charlie recovery Punta Gorda Center warehouse and associated site work from 10% to 5%.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the Hurricane Charlie recovery Punta Gorda Center warehouse and associated work site reduction in retainage from 10% to 5% as presented. Is there any board discussion? I do want to say, just so everyone understands why we do this, that we start off with a retainage for these projects, and as they get closer and closer to construction, it just makes sense that we release a portion of that back to the contractor or the vendor. So, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Our next item, superintendent's contract amendment. I'm personally requesting board approval of an amendment to my contract. And the purpose of the amendment is to include in my compensation package an item that states that if the school board or superintendent deems it necessary financially to make a reduction or to implement furlough days for district leadership or administrators, that reduction will automatically be applied to the superintendent at the same percentage rate. And so I'm bringing that to you this evening. I think it's only appropriate because our leaders are taking between a 1.8 and a 2.4 reduction in salary through furlough days, that I do the same. So I'm asking for your approval of that this evening.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the superintendent's contract amendment as presented. Is there any discussion?
I just wanted to say that Dr. Whitaker was not required by the school board to take those furlough days. Dr. Whitaker imposed it on himself, so thank you for doing that, Dr. Whitaker.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
And the last item this evening is I'm requesting board approval of the personnel action list of personnel actions brought to you this evening.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the personnel action as presented. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Citizen comment. Teresa, do we have any? Are there any citizens in the crowd who would like to address the board? Okay, moving on to attorney comment. Mrs. Young.
Since I promised you I have something to say, it is a little early, but I wanted just to say that in 2 weeks, I will be the proud parent of 2 Kingsway Cougars. My little guy starts kindergarten, so it's an exciting time in our house.
Yeah.
Great.
Scary, too.
Board member comment. Mrs. Miller.
Oh, okay. I would just like to congratulate East Elementary and Sally Jones on the smooth opening of our These are our 2 year-round school programs, and know that they will have a very successful year. And look forward to the opening of the remainder schools on August 7th. Thank you.
And Mrs. Rindle?
Just looking forward to meeting our new teachers on Thursday morning, so see you all there.
Yeah.
We will be there. And I just wanted to get out to everybody, this Saturday at the Cultural Center is the Back to School Carnival, put on by CLEF, the Charlotte Local Education Foundation. I'm sure most of you know what it is. We give backpacks and school supplies and all the good stuff to kids in Charlotte County that need it. And if anybody's looking for something to do Saturday morning, find Mary Fred Clemens, because I know she's still looking for volunteers for it. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you. Just a couple of things very briefly this evening. First, I'm pleased to announce that the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office school resource officers, which provide just incredibly valuable service to our schools, has been recognized as the best SRO unit in the state of Florida. So that's a pretty special deal. So our thanks to Robert Carpenter and Sheriff Bill Cameron for their very effective partnership with us. This not only serves the school system, but it serves the community as well. So it's truly a win-win relationship that we have in this. My second note is on a little more somber tone. It's with sadness that I share with the board this evening the loss of one of our employees, Linda Croson. Linda began her teaching career in New Jersey. She moved to Florida and started with the Charlotte County Public Schools in 1982. She worked at Peace River Elementary School, teaching kindergarten and third grade. In 2004, she transferred to Kingsway, where she was a third grade teacher for 8 years. Linda received her bachelor's degree in teaching from Patterson State College in New Jersey and her master's of education from Nova University in Sarasota. Mrs. Croson is survived by her daughters, Christina, Jason Smith, and Lisa Michael Asef, both graduates of Charlotte High School. Mrs. Croson was laid to rest on Saturday, June 2nd in Jacksonville, Florida. So our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to this family in the loss of their mom and spouse and child. So. That's all I have this evening.
Seeing no other business, the meeting is adjourned.